Now, the other thing that I thought was pretty interesting, which has part of it on the Brianna Wu's section of Kiwi Farms, on Brianna Wu's Kiwi Farms thread, was the announcement for this fictional Gamergate series in the works from Mind Riot Entertainment and video games developer Brianna Wu. Also failed politician and doxer, but hey, we can't put that on Deadline. This is a reputable rag, you know what I mean? Mind Riot Entertainment will work with journalist slash game developer and computer programmer Brianna Wu for Gamergate, a series about her experiences as a critic and target of the notorious 2014 online harassment campaign, for which the studio has optioned life rights. I wonder how much Brianna Wu's life story is worth to executives. It's probably a depressing amount. Probably depressing. The 2014 Gamergate online campaign ignited a firestorm for its targeting of women and the gaming in the gaming industry, which laid the foundation for current issues of disinformation and hate. It's a little bit of a stretch. Before QAnon, COVID-19 conspiracists, and the January 6th insurrection, which the FBI found no evidence of coordination of a plot at the Capitol, but okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. There was Gamergate. Wu was among the targeted women, which also include Zoe Quinn. Remember that name for later, because it gets kind of funny when she gets brought up in this later on. The series will explore the origins of the widespread intimidation campaign from the perspective of multiple fictional people in the game industry, from executives to journalists and indie developers. Gamergate is co-created and co-written by Wu and J. Brad Wilk, Camel Spiders, never heard of it, and will be produced by Mind Riot Entertainment, never heard of it, Jonathan Casey, Parallel, never heard of it, and Jeremy J. Dodd, One Nation Under Earl, never heard of it. In 2014, the personal attacks forced Wu and her husband to flee from their Boston home in the wake of online death threats as a result of her efforts to support female game developers, journalists, and players targeted online by violent and sexist attacks via social media and message boards. By the way, this is actually 100% false. The coordinated turbo autists that were scouring Wu's video for clues determined that Wu was still recording from their exact same apartment building. So they never actually fled. They just said that they did. So this is a lie. I'm surprised Deadline.com isn't very good at getting their story straight. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gotta listen to the autists. The autists know what they're doing. We're not going to retread. In the aftermath, Wu ran for Congress in 2018 and lost. Representing women in tech, Wu has, also representing schizophrenics in tech. One of the funniest things that Wu talked about, Wu actually, preempted Trump in the proposal for a space force. Wu was absolutely 100% convinced that there was going to be a coordinated military effort by Russia to go up into space and to drop asteroids on Earth, like Xeon colony dropping people. Wu is actually mentally ill. Wu has shared her story in a number of publications, including the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Guardian. Her experience, along with those other Gamergate targets, have been addressed in a number of television and film projects, including the 2015 GTFO and the intimidation game Law and Order episode of SVU, which Wu is saying this won't be nearly as memeable. I press an X to doubt on that one. We're not going to retread the same story told in thousands of news stories from outlets such as the New York Times and Washington Post, plus multiple documentaries like GTFO. Our series will focus on new, fictional people within the industry reacting to a horrific situation by explaining how they were unable to stop the video game industry from being hijacked by the lunatic fringe. Yeah, you gotta make sure the video game industry isn't hijacked by the lunatic fringe. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. Yeah. We can show how the tactics of Gamergate were the same ones that led to tragedies like Christchurch in January 6th, said Wu. Casey added, working with Brianna is a huge score for us. Yeah, I mean, like, really, when you're at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up, I guess. Based in Seattle, one of the country's meccas for gaming. I've never heard it be called that before, but okay. We've been, I think Japan, I think Tokyo's the mecca for gaming, but sure, why not? We've been wanting to shed light on this subject matter for a while and are honored that Brianna will be co-writing the series alongside Brad. Well, I mean, you know, could always be worse. Mind Riot Entertainment is repped by Katrina Bede and Bracepoint Law. I don't know why the law offices are being mentioned in this. Kesey is repped by the Circle of Confusion and Hirsch Wallerstein, Chaim Maltolf Fishman. I don't know why there's so many law firms that are behind this. Oh, wait, actually, I think I might know why there's so many law firms behind this, because so from possible murderer Zoe Quinn, since I'm getting a lot of emails about this, no, I've got nothing to do with that TV show. I learned about its existence at the time as the rest of you. No, I was not asked, consulted, etc. And if I had been asked, I wouldn't have been okay with it. That's all. And then Zoe Quinn, after saying, that's all, continues, I continue to reject any oversimplification of Gamergate that leaves out its roots in white supremacy, domestic violence, and the pre-existing societal issues it capitalized in favor of a more convenient and inaccurate narrative about it being solely about women in games. If I am portrayed in it, it is without my involvement or any input on my end, and it is happening without my consent. So that's where the lawyers are coming into the story about it. If I'm written out of it, well, I'm not so sure how you can present it as an honest story. I don't want anything to do with this, but if it doesn't have me involved in it, it's definitely not true and honest, guys. But that's really not my problem either. I don't want to do any interviews on this. I don't want to give any other statements aside from this. It's been bad enough having all this pop up again without any warning or regard for how I feel about it. So I just try to ignore it. Thank you for understanding. And as I've been kind of wanting to get into media reviews and the like, I think that I might want to review this when it comes out. I might want to cover this when it comes out. And well, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Let's be real, this show is just a vehicle to embezzle money. Yeah, probably.